Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So, on Sunday, just gone, I went to the glass fair at the Ruskin Glass Centre in Stourbridge. And so I got permission to film. As I went round, I asked dealers if I could film as well. So just I wasn't just rocking up to stands and saying, I'm starting filming. I did ask. I didn't film as much as I would have liked to film because I was chatting so much. Yeah, you know how it is. You know, start talking about glassy things and you just can't stop. Anyway, what else? So one thing I have to do is I have to apologise for the background noise because there was a lot of background noise. There was a lot of people there and it was noisy and there's no escaping that. So what else? Yeah, I did buy some things as well. I think I will show those in a separate video. Because I can go to more detail if I do it that way. And what else? Nope, I think that's it. So with that said, let's jump into this film because it was so exciting going to this fair. It was fantastic. So much fantastic glass. Anyway, let's get on with the film. I'm here at the Ruskin Glass Centre for the glass fair. Yes, it's the first one I've been to since I think about 2018 I've been. So yeah, I'm looking forward. It's going to be fun. It's not quite open yet, but yeah, it's going to be exciting. Anyway, let's get on. So I'm here at the glass fair and yeah, it's very busy. I'm just going to flip the camera around and show you what it's like. So I'm here at Chris Parry's stand. It's the first one I'm going to start filming at because he does the charity art shop one. And anyway, let's pick out a few things because there is so much stuff here. Nice Stevens and Williams rainbow vase. That looks like it should be white fries. I don't know. It looks very thin though. I can ask him about that. That's white fries, I think. What else? I have actually bought something off him already, but he's put it away. Look at this. An Avem. Glass, you can see, with the little canes in it, squashed in it. It's really nice. That's quite a rare thing. That's a Dartington vase. I might be able to try and find that. This book is Dartington Glass, the First 20 Years by Linda and Stuart Smithson. And here we are. So this is the vase that we were just looking at. It's the FT74 from 1968. And it says it comes in two sizes. And I think it's the larger of the two. And it does come in other colours as well. So it comes in clear, midnight, kingfisher and flame. And obviously the red is flame. This is Molyneux Webb. Yeah. It's got 1860. I think it's 1864. What else is here? There's just so much stuff. Some of this I don't know, obviously, as usual. Yeah, it's so exciting. Oh, look at this. This is nice. This is a Webb bullseye vase, but with the cutting on it. This book is The Identification of English Pressed Glass by Jenny Thompson. And if you look at this compot here, here, it's got the same little ribbing around the edge. Greek heat pattern, doesn't have the colours. However, there is something, and it's not very clear in this picture, but let me go back a few pages and I'll show you something. It is from 1864, this particular one. Here it is. There's the number, 27th of August, 1864. However, that foot is not the same. Yeah, so that was actually, this is all pressed in one piece. That foot was actually handmade foot with the stem added with the foot added to it, and then the bottom of the foot was star cut. So what do I think to that? Very difficult. Potentially that comport may be earlier, because this is the registered design. It doesn't match, and in fact the piece that we looked at is more handmade. And what tended to happen, this kind of bigger pieces, or pressed glass in general, didn't really take off until after the glass tax came off in 1845. And from what I've seen, pieces got more complex. So this is like 20 years later almost. So the one we were looking at, only the bowl looked pressed, the rest of it looked handmade. So that made me think a bit earlier. It wouldn't be much later than 1851, I think, because that's when the frosted glass process came in. So it's somewhere in those dates, I think. But it's difficult to actually exactly pin it down because it's not in this book. That's a decanter at the back there. I don't know if I can zoom in at all. There. Can you see? Yeah, I've seen that somewhere, and I'm going to try and look that up. This book is The Decanter, Ancient Modern by Andy McConnell. Now, I'd like to tell you something. There's a big difference between knowing you've seen something and knowing where you've seen it. Now, I know it's in one of my reference books. I can't find it. But I thought I'd do a little bit of explanation of what I'm looking at here. So this is a stepped cut decanter from, and he's saying 1810 to 1815 for this one, I think. Right. Yes. So this is the style, the period style, okay, and some of them are completely step cut, like the one we were looking at. And then here we are, back in the 1930s, and we have a step cut decanter again, which is completely step cut, and there's some more here. These two are from the 1930s, from different makers. Who does he say this one's by? Briley, and these ones are by Hill Euston, and I think there's something on the next page. Let me just go over. Yeah, this one here. This one is by, I think it's, I didn't even look beforehand, that's terrible. I think it's Edinburgh Crystal, yeah, Edinburgh and Leith, okay. And yeah, Edinburgh Leith did a lot of this kind of thing. Let me, don't look too hard in my room because it's very untidy. I'll show you something on the side over here. Look at this. So that too is Edinburgh and Leith. So this is a style from the early Georgian period, and then it came back in the 1930s. The other nice thing I spotted here is the Webb Corbett. There's a lemonade set at the back there. I'll just push the camera a bit closer. Wheat sheath design. I think that's a post-war one. It might be Irene Stevens, I'm not certain. So, knowing something is Webb Corbett and proving it are two different things. Now, I know I've seen something either marked or in a book or something with that pattern on. I've done a search. I typed in Webb Corbett wheat because it was a wheat ear pattern. And yeah, 3 of the first 4 hits on here are my own website, so that's not going to help me at all because I don't actually own anything that pattern. I've not found it. I plonked around. It's not in the British Museum. I did use Google. I did images and We've got this pattern here, this wheat ear pattern, but not the one that we're looking for. Yeah, looked in British Glass, not there. Go to my website. This is as close as I can get, which is not the pattern we're looking for. Yeah, so yeah, they did this kind of pattern, but the one we were looking at doesn't have these wavy lines on it. It has these vertical lines going up. So yeah, I have that. I think I've got glass as well somewhere in my collection. There's a tumbler, and if I go back, I've got Decanter as well, which is that one there. There you go. So yeah, I think it's Webb Corbett. He thinks it's Webb Corbett. I can't prove it for him. I don't know where reference is. I've seen one. I know I have. But there's a difference between, as I was saying earlier, in fact, knowing you've seen a reference and knowing where you've seen it. So, still with Chris Parry, look at this. This is nice. Regency condiment jar. The lid. Yeah, that is very nice. Pillar cut. So next stand along here. And there's some, nice to see you. Look at these. Yeah, so I think Webb Corbett. These are from the 1920s. I'm very happy I met it. Really nice. It's been 4 years. Enamelling. And yeah, and this is a completely different style, but by the same guy. We can go back to one of our books and have a little look at these. So this book is 20th Century British Glass by Charles Hadamack. And yeah, so this is the kind of stuff we were looking at. I think you might have seen if you look at my one on grapefruit dishes. I own that one, but the grapes are similar to this. And yeah, it all looks like it's the same hand. Because I own this one, I've looked at it closely and it does look like it's the same hand. Apart from, and it's Hugo Massey for Webb Corbett, 1920s. Apart from the last one that we were looking at there, let me turn over the page. See if I can just turn over one page. There we go. And it's this one here. So we were looking at a bowl, but this is the vase of the same pattern. And it says this is Webb Corbett as well, but it says it's 1930, which means that it might not be Hugo Massey. Still cool though. I still think it's nicer than the, yeah, I'm being cruel here. I think it's nicer than the, more stylish than the Stuart Crystal ones. This one in particular. Anyway, that's only my thoughts. Everybody's got their own thoughts on what they like and don't like. So, yeah, back to the video. So I'm here on another stand, and look at this. This is a Holmegaard Atlantis vase, and this is what quite often the Dalian snowflake is. The Dalian ones don't have this, but not all of the Atlantis ones have this little black rim. But if it does, this means it's definitely Holmegaard. And the price is a decent one because this is huge. Look at my hand, it's huge. I've not seen one that big, but look at all this stuff he's got on here. This is where I am lost a bit. This is the kind of stuff that I don't know. It's some amazing glass though. So I thought I'd explain myself a bit better, what I was talking about Dalian and Holmegaard. So this is a 20th Century Glass website, and this is the Holmegaard glass. Yeah, look at this. This is Holmegaard as well. This is a bit more, yeah, it doesn't quite, but these ones here, these are the Holmegaard Atlantis range. Yeah, this is actually, I think, the actual bowl that we were looking at there, or vase. You're saying a vase. And yeah, so these are the ones that often get mistaken for Dalian. If you look at this one here, yeah, look at that. So definitely Holmegaard because it's got the label on. Now, if we go to, this is Mark Hill's blog here, and yeah, so if you look at something like this or this, and people are often trying to sell this stuff, and as Holmegaard, and the price difference. I mean, these things are only sort of like 10-15 pounds. Yeah, and some of them are white, but some of them have got a bit of a blush like that. Or different colours. There's a green one. There's also, I've seen blue as well. But anyway, these are not Holmegaard. You do need to be careful, but it's still got the same little streak running through it that you see. Yeah, you see where we're going with that. If that was white, that would look kind of similar-ish. Cased as well. You see the bottom there. This is cased, although usually these have a foot, which is clear. So, just for you to be aware of, because that bowl was £80. I think the smaller ones are cheaper than that, probably £40 or something, £30. But a little vase like this is probably £10 to £15. So just so you're aware. So I'm here at Stan Parry's stand, and he's got this fir cone decanter. Like I have some of these, but what I don't have is the catalogue number, showing it in the yeah, I've got this 1903 date, but not this. He's also got this other one here. I'm going to slowly work my way around. The reason I was so interested in that particular decanter is because I actually have, I think there's only 4 here, but I have a 5th one on another shelf somewhere, but you can see now one of mine is a claret jug. You can see that one's probably the one with the clearest fir cone pattern. These are a bit blobbied out really, but yeah, so I was interested to see that these were in the 1927 catalogue, and Stan Parry, who had that stand, was very nice and friendly and explained that he'd actually gone and looked these up in the catalogue in the museum. So yeah, I'll show you what I did. So here is my entry on my website for this. You can see I've got 3 references here for different books. This is the decanter in question. Yep, and no patent number. This is the one that's online at the moment. So what did I do? I went to my code, did a quick code change, and added the catalogue number over here. Dun dun dun, and I'll give a little thanks to Stan, because I said I would do that. So thanks to Stan Parry. Oh, that's wrong. Hang on, did I fix that? Yes, I did. At the Stourbridge Glass Fair, the catalogue number from the 1927 catalogue. So very nice man. So I thought I'd credit him with that. So this is really nice. Look at the detail here. I don't recognise this. The stop is solid. He doesn't know it either. I'm going to try and find this one, because it is actually really nice. After much Googling, the cocktail shaker popped up on Pinterest. So here it is. And yeah, so that is the same one. Sklo Vintage Deco Bazaar. Now, this is not the most authoritative thing, but is it Czech or is it English? I thought it looked very English, but when you go to this site here, where it was lodged, it's not there anymore. But this is a Czech site selling glass. So yeah, the chances are it is actually a Bohemian one. I think it looks pre-war. I, I did the search because I thought it might be Webb Corbett because of the little chevron-y pattern, because it was something they did. But yeah, it is looking like if it's for sale in the Czech Republic on a Czech Republic website, the chances are it probably wasn't imported to the Czech Republic. It probably is from the Czech Republic. So we'll have to just go with that. It's got some nice measures down here. These are all small. Look how big that is. Look at this. This one's quite nice. Moulded one. That looks like it's 1840s or something like that. This looks earlier. And it's got a name on it. It's very difficult to see. Yeah, that date looks about right as well. 1850. Yeah, oh, this is nice. That's a lovely one as well. Yeah, very heavy, so that's probably post 1845. Yeah, he's got some really nice things. This book is The Decanter Ancient to Modern by Andy McConnell, and it actually has a section on miniatures and measures, and this is the bit on measures. And yeah, he didn't have one of those, but he did have one of these, and I think he had one like a bit more like this as well. The dates that Andy McConnell's got down for this one is 1860 to 70, and for these ones he's got 1880. So yeah, they were all kind of chunkish, which means that they're post the excise tax of 1845. I'd have thought that was a bit earlier. It looks stylistically, this is a style that originated in the 1830s, so it might be earlier than 1860. Don't know though. This is the only real reference for it. There's probably somewhere there's a specialist booklet on these things, but actually pinning them down, that's not going to be easy. He's got something nice here. He's got a Italia candle holder. Look at that. That is nice. I really quite like that. So I've come to this stand, and I think a few people have been here because, yeah. But some interesting things here. Look at this 18th century Tazza. Look at that with a folded foot. That's really nice. These are fairly standard type things. But yeah, he's got some great rummers. Yeah, there. And look at this. This is fantastic. This is a 18th century. What he's got? 1780. There you go. I wouldn't fight with that. Nice Masonic glass. Yeah, that date looks good as well. Yeah, but he's really sold a lot of glass here today. So the book I'm looking at here is 18th century English drinking glasses by L.M. Bickerton, and I was looking at that glass, you know, playing the film back and thinking, it's got a domed foot. Domed feet are normally earlier, but I found this one here, the domed foot, 1790, he's saying. Now, that is the only feature that's matching there, really. What else have I got? So around the edge of the foot, there are panels cut like this. He's got 1790 on that as well. It has a faceted knop in the middle, like this. Oh, this one here is a 1785. So, yeah, I think 1780s okay. It's probably the bottom end of the date, but I think it's an okay date. We've got another one here with a bowl that's more like the one that we were looking at. He's got 1760 there for that one. So, yeah. Not exactly the same shape and everything, but yeah. So they were making them earlier with the cutting all over. So I think, yeah, well, I think 1780 is okay. And yeah, it's a lovely glass, very rare indeed. He's got a couple of super fantastic jelly glasses here. He's got a pan top. Yeah, nice early date. Look at the foot, that's dome foot with some flammy form on it. And then he's got a lovely two-handled jelly glass there. That is fantastic. So we're back with LM Bickerton, 18th century English drinking glasses. These are jelly glasses and these are pan top jelly glasses, you can see. And yeah, so the ones we were looking at had nice early features. They had domed feet, and if you check out the dates, these ones he's saying are early 18th century. And he's got 1750, early 18th century, 1750. I think his were, because he had the flammy form bits around the top. This is not quite that. I think we're really looking at early. The ones he's got some with handles, but they're not the same. You see a different form. I think the handled ones are a bit later. It was a bit more like, there's a plain one here, a bit more like this, but with handles. Very much rarer form. Almost never see them with handles, probably because the handles got broken late 18th century. So the handled one is a bit later. It was cheaper. It was £65. Something like this is usually about £30, so it's more than double that. I still think 65 is a very decent price. The other one, yeah, it was 200 and something, and it's a early 18th century glass, so that's what you expect. It's got another panelled jelly glass with a pan top, handle with a piggy tail, domed foot, and flammy form on it. That is really nice. So this stand's got a real mix of different things. You got your common lights. There we go. It's a 9099, little tiny one. Don't know who that is. Victorian dump. That's nice. With the flower in it, so it's a bit nicer. You got a couple of clucks here from Holmegaard, but they're the ones with crown stoppers. Yeah. And then up here we were looking at something, and the lady here told me about them. So these are Gvar vases. This one is actually made under license by Cascade in the UK, and yeah, so this is a real one. And what made, so do you remember I was looking at one in Antiques Emporium, and underneath I've had a look, and the one in Antiques Emporium is a Gvar vase. Whether it's a Cascade one or not, I don't know, but yeah, underneath there's no polished pontil. It's got a kind of slightly ripply indented base. So yeah, there you go. So what do I know about Gvar vases? Not a lot. I know that they were made under license in the UK. That makes a big difference to the price, but also I know there's a lot of copies out there. So unless you see one in a charity shop and it's a £5, if you don't know what you're doing, I wouldn't go rushing around buying them. If it's got a label on it, if you buy it from a proper dealer and paying a full price, you get a kind of guarantee, because you can find out later that it's not a Gvar vase and take it back and go, you sold me this as a Gvar vase and it's wrong. But make sure you keep a receipt. But yeah, it is a very, look at this, there's like different sizes, there's different colours, there's all, I think the ones with the white interiors, you know, the cased ones are more difficult to copy, but even then I don't know if you're still in the right place with those. Like, look at these ones here. Yeah, because it's cased, it's, you know, it's not just knocking out the shape, but yeah, there's just so many of them, and I wouldn't run around buying them unless I want them for my own windowsill, to have a bunch of different coloured ones to have on the windowsill. They are difficult. They do also come with these little ball stoppers, you see. So yeah, there's just, look, the variety is just endless. And oh, look, here's the bottom, and this is what the bottom should look like. That's what the ones we were looking at were like. Whether the one I saw previously was a copy or not, I don't know enough. But yeah, they're quite nice things if you're just going to create a little set for yourself like this, or you're going to have them all the same colour but different sizes. They're quite a cool mid-century thing to collect. And whilst I'm about it, I thought I'd go to 20th Century Glass and show you the clucks, or clucks. And if you look at theirs, none of them have crown stoppers. So yeah, the ones with the crown stoppers are rarer, and I think they're a little bit more valuable than the ones with just straightforward ball stoppers. And I think that you get some that are leaning to the side with the crowns as well. So yeah, they're quite a bit different and wonky. So I'm on Andrew Lynham's site here, web stand, and yeah, he's got this culture. So it's look at this with the. So this is an early style of cluck. This is where they all came from. It's double dipped, so you can see here where they dropped it in, or post dip or whatever it's called. So yeah, that is a really nice early piece. Difficult to clean, obviously, but that is very nice. He's got some other bits and pieces on here. It's a bit out of my field, but oh, those look like, are those web? These are nice as well. So looking at that bottle there, so the guy selling it said it was from about 1700, and it did look like an old piece of glass. I have to say, it looked the business. The colour looked right, the surface of the... I didn't pick it up because I wasn't that brave. But yeah. Now, back in the day, those types of... So today we call them clucks or glucks and stuff like that, but they were called Katrolfs. Okay, now if you look, I've done a search for Katrolfs, and you can see some of them are your standard gluck type thing, but then some of them are these ones here, a bit like what we were looking at. And what I've done is I've clicked through on a few, and we'll have a look. So here's one. So Corning, it's from the Corning Glass Museum, 1675 to 1699. Now if you look at this one, you can see a line here. This is called the German half post method. I was desperately trying to remember what it was at the time. I was just like, oh, there's lots of noise going on, and my brain wasn't working. But yeah, it's called the half post method, or double dip, where they blow it and then they dip it back into the furnace, and then they keep on blowing it, and you end up with this line around here. So the bottom half is thicker than the top half. So you'll see that on a lot of traditional Scandinavian and Germanic decanters. So this is the one that's 1675, and this is pretty close to what we were looking at. And then there's got this one here. Oh no, I don't want that. This is another. This one's for sale at Christie's, 1500 to 2000, from 2013. So yeah, this is not quite as close. It's a bit more fancy. It's got a bit of riggery on it, and a trail around the edge. So yeah, but it looks, the thickness of it looks like it might be half post as well. It's got the same ribs, and they're saying mid 17th century, so they're talking mid 1600s. And then there's this one here, and they're saying probably 17th century. So this is in the Met Museum in New York. So that is the kind of thing you were looking at, a museum piece there, which is why I was like, ooh, look at that. Anyway, that's what we were looking at. It was very expensive, out of my league completely. And I have seen them, copies of them around, never seen a real one before. So yeah, that was quite nice to see. So there we have it. Yeah, so this isn't the end. Looking at how much film I've got left, if I carry on as I am, this is going to be a 3 or 4-parter. So yeah, there's a lot more super fantastic glass to see at the glass fair, and I can't wait to the next one, which I think is about 6 months or so. So yeah, I'll look that up and give you a date in another part. But anyway, yeah, I'm looking back at it and go, ooh, look at this. But anyway, all of the reference I've used will be in the description below, where I've got details of the dealers that I was, whose stands I was looking at. I'll also include those below as well. And please remember to like and subscribe, because it does help my channel. And yeah, I think that's it. So thank you for watching. There will be more, definitely, because there's loads more film. And I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. Good night.